Greetings, one and all. Now, this wasn't meant to be an unboxing, and it kind of is, but I already started and been a bit distracted. I've got a new desk, which I'm going to do a video on before too long, and it's a bit of a learning curve, and I've lost the flow of what I used to do, but I think the new desk is Tascam Model 12. We'll talk about it later. So I started doing the desk, going fiddling about, making sure it's running, which I think it is now, and forgot to turn the video on. So you'll forgive me. I've already opened it up somewhat. So, history of this is Miranda got in touch and she said, "Hey, Anton, we like your channel." I said, "Thank you very much." She said, "We'd like to send you a product to see what you think of it." I said, "Oh, well, thank you very much." She sent me a link, and I looked at various products, and I chose one which I thought would be appropriate. It was a bit involved. It was 2 microphones in a kit, if you will. I'll explain later. Anyway, I thought it was going to be a bit tricky for me, involved to assess it. Anyway, it turns out that they didn't have one of those available, and she said, "How about this?" I said, "Okay, fine." And it turns out this is a good idea, because I know what I'm going to do with this, and it's going to be useful, and a friend of mine has just bought something similar. So, yeah, that worked out well. I'll show you what it is. Nice box, outer casing, outer box. Let's go around the back here first. We're not going to read all that. So we see, transmitter, receiver, charging cable, user manual, storage pouch. Yes, indeed. Is one of these. Okay, so my idea, let's carry on with the unboxing, is obviously to see how it holds up sonically, because it just so happens I've got a pair of biodynamic MHH, something I'll put one wired and one through this. I can always attach a cable to this and put it some distance away and here on the end of a cable. See, I can take it to school. The other item was 2 microphones and a receiver, 2 radio mics and a receiver. So quite a large item, and perhaps not so easy for me to just review. That I was interested to see how the mics would have held up in terms of sonic quality. Oh, there we go. Nice box. So far, so good. Well, this little pouch for storing them. Why not? And that's the manual, which I shall be perusing. Well, all in English, not multi. Yep. Where's... Well, that's nice. I did wonder about that strange, even though I hadn't seen anything. I just thought, so that's nice. So it's got you can charge them both at the same time, because it's got 2 there. So environmentally, I suppose you figure fair enough, because it's not like just another USB-C cable. So very well packed. Is this in the right place? Not quite. Got a bit more light. So there we are. Looks like there's a protective plastic on there. Thus far, everything feels quite solid. There's my trusty 58. So presumably I mean, I should read the instructions, shouldn't I? I'm guessing. That seems to be what happens. So it's locked on there. I was thinking, so these things, they inevitably look like this when they're on on a microphone, don't they? So, what can you do? It's not massive. And I did think, oh, that works. I'll have a look later. I did think it probably would suit something like this rather better. I know it's ridiculous because you're just going to use it with whatever mic you've got. But does, with a black light. And I think the straight side sort of helps as well to some extent. So there you go. That's that bit. And this is the other bit. So yeah, the plan is then I'll plug this into the desk, and then I can use one of these M88s with that and the other one cabled and go between them for sound quality. I've got some M400s which are pretty much identical as far as I can tell sonically, so I'll do it with those as well and anything else I feel like, and then I'll take it to school. I'm interested to see, I believe it can supply phantom power. I believe so, in which case I'll be interested to see how it handles the some of the posh mics. So I was thinking that what this kind of thing might be useful for then also is that, like on some of the Bose equipment I've got, the smaller ones, they don't have phantom power, so I can't use the posh mics. So not only would this work, it seems to me, as a wireless option, which doesn't bother me that much because I'm always playing instruments, so I'm wired, but I can have it. But it might be useful for some of the equipment, like the old valve equipment with no phantom power. So it can act as a phantom power supply. So I'd be interested to see, with the Earthworks, particularly the SR40V, which is quite power hungry, how long it lasts. I looked on the web and I think they say about 7 hours, but I don't think that's with phantom power, and probably not with an SR40V plugged into it. So that's the plan. There we go. So it's Phoenix Pro. Thank you very much. And I shall let you know how I get on. Adios.